Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today, as usual guys, we have plenty of news, plenty of stories, so stay tuned here on the channel because it's going to be a crazy end of the week and then a crazy next 2 weeks because it's going to be madness, guys, till the end of the summer transfer window. We have plenty of things to mention today, and so I remind you here, the channel on YouTube for all the videos, all the latest. Thank you for being here every single day. Today, guys, let me start with the very latest. Good luck to the boy from Kazakhstan, 18-year-old striker from Chelsea, Satpayev, because he's about to join Barley on loan. One of my exclusive stories over the recent days was about Max Alene, the centre-back who was at Watford last season, then returned to Manchester City, joining Barley, so a top talent at centre-back position, and now also striker Satpayev from Chelsea. So Barley are building with talented players, and Satpayev is going to be the next one. Big movements today took place also in Paris. The big exclusive story update around lunchtime. It was an exclusive story on 31st of July, so out of nowhere. If you were here, it was a Friday, I think, and I told you, Paris Saint-Germain are going all-in for Mika Götze, the Belgian winger from Ajax. They wanted him, they were trying for him, they had negotiations, they reached an agreement with the player, and now deal done, agreement in place, Paris Saint-Germain, Ajax for Mika Götze. It's a here we go, it's a deal closed for 55 million euros package, the player on his way to Paris. It's a busy day in Paris because Ferran Torres is arriving, Mika Götze is arriving, so Paris Saint-Germain are completing these two signings. And so what happened at Paris Saint-Germain? Just to recap a little bit over the recent days and weeks, and maybe you didn't follow absolutely everything, but for Paris Saint-Germain, they sold Gonzalo Ramos to AC Milan in June, they sold Kangin Lee to Atletico Madrid in June, and then they sold Randal Kolo Muani, who was not part of the first team because he was on loan at Tottenham, but also extra money to Juventus. And so 3 exits. And now Magnus Akliush, already official, then Ferran Torres, next signing from Barcelona for 50 million euros, and now Paris Saint-Germain are also set to announce Mika Götze as a new signing from Ajax. So 2 players out, plus Kolo Muani, who was already not part of the first team, and now 3 players in. What does it mean? That there is an expectation there could be movements around the situation of Bradley Barcola, because the situation of Bradley Barcola remains absolutely linked to Liverpool. I never stop telling you guys, and I remain in this in this story, absolutely all in, because Liverpool want Barcola, because Liverpool are negotiating for Barcola, and because I was believing in this news already in April, May, when the story and the narrative around was Barcola is untouchable, and I remain on this story again today. Liverpool are still trying for Barcola. There is still a gap in financial valuation between what Paris Saint-Germain want and what Liverpool offer, but Liverpool are still working for Barcola. The financial agreement with the player is okay, and now Liverpool and PSG keep talking, keep exchanging messages, keep discussing for Bradley Barcola. So the deal is alive. And don't forget that my information, and I stand by my information, is that Liverpool could add 2 wingers to the squad if Cody Gakpo goes to Tottenham. Tottenham are still working for Cody Gakpo. Today, a lot of rumors in the media for Cody Gakpo, but nothing has really changed yet. In the sense that Tottenham want to sign Gakpo, that's not in doubt. That Gakpo is a top target for the Zerbi, 100%. But now they still need to find a financial agreement. So at the moment, the situation of Cody Gakpo, in terms of player terms, is not a problem. So personal terms are not going to be an issue between Gakpo and Tottenham. So it's not that they've been agreed, they've not been agreed. It's same as Barcola, no problem. Barcola Liverpool, no problem. Gakpo Tottenham, no problem in terms of personal agreement. Then club to club, there is still work to do. Also Tottenham, Liverpool. So let's follow the situation. Another big story of the day, guys, is about Enzo Fernandez. Here we have to explain a little bit because Chelsea today didn't receive any official bid. There were links in the recent hours about Chelsea presenting Man City presenting 120 million euros bid. No. Manchester City didn't present any official bid to Chelsea. Chelsea guarantee they didn't receive any kind of bid. The story about 120 million euros and not 120 million pounds is for one reason. Because during the summer, between June, July, during the World Cup, Man City had a feeling that the deal could get done for 120 million euros. This is why there is a lot of rumors around on 120 million euros. But Chelsea made clear to the players' camp since May, not today or yesterday, since May that the player is leaving for 120 million pounds. So Chelsea set a deadline till today. So what happens from today? Chelsea expect Enzo to continue. Chelsea are more than happy with Enzo Fernandez. That's it. But from Manchester City, Man City remain in contact with the camp of Enzo Fernandez. Man City spoke to them yesterday, as I told you in my videos. Man City spoke again with the agents of Enzo Fernandez today. And Man City remain in active conversations. What does it mean? That Man City didn't meet the deadline, but the deadline was kind of verbal release clause. So instead of having a release clause into the contract, Chelsea conceded to Enzo Fernandez for a few months until today the possibility to bring 120 million pounds. We don't even negotiate, and the player goes to Manchester City. No problem. This didn't happen. So now Chelsea remain in total control of the situation. Chelsea can decide whatever they want. The pact, the verbal release clause, is over. So now Chelsea would be more than happy to continue with Enzo. Then, if Manchester City arrive from now to the end of the summer transfer window with a big proposal trying to tempt Chelsea again, this we cannot predict, and we have to see, because Chelsea are very clear. They are not selling the player for less than 120 million pounds. So maybe City want to try with a different formula. This is yet to be seen. But Chelsea guarantee that the deadline is over, and then 120 million pounds with the terms already suggested months ago are no longer available as an exit clause for Enzo Fernandez. So now it's on Man City to decide. And of course, it's going to be a big story. Talking about big stories, guys. Talking about wingers as well. Rafa Leão and Gabriel Martinelli. On Gabriel Martinelli, guys, I was never reporting anything on Gabriel Martinelli and Galatasaray because my information is that this negotiation was never advanced. Never advanced for one reason. Gabriel Martinelli has no interest in going to Turkey. And that was not even a negotiation from what I'm hearing. It's not that they were offering one and he wanted two, or he wanted three, he wanted four. Just Gabriel Martinelli has no interest in going to Turkey. And it's not about Galatasaray or Fener or whatever. He doesn't want to go to Turkey at this stage of his career. Maybe in the next years, I don't know. But today, Martinelli doesn't want to go to Turkey. So forget about Martinelli and Galatasaray. Then, if a big proposal arrives from Europe, that could be a different story. But at the moment, still no substantial update on Gabriel Martinelli. And then on Rafa Leão, watch out for his situation. He's not with the AC Milan squad for the final friendly, not because he's on the market, but because he's injured officially. But AC Milan keep considering Rafa Leão available on the market. The transfer fee is around 50 million euros, could go down around 40 depending on the conditions, but Leão is available on the market. And Leão is one to watch for Galatasaray and for European clubs. There is movement around Rafa Leão, and so if someone is going to put big money on AC Milan table, Leão could be part of these final crazy days of the summer transfer window. So let's follow the situation, let's follow the others, guys. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.